I think it's safe to say that we are officially on the road to WrestleMania 31. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, and I'm here to do my WWE Raw review for February the 2nd, 2015. Lot of stuff happened in Denver, Colorado tonight, which Raw was built from. And yeah, lots of possible matches were not announced, but were put in stone for what could be in the future. So instead of mucking around, let's get into it. So we open up the show in the most original way possible with an authority promo. They talk about the fucking Super Bowl. Patriots beat Seahawks. Cool. He mentions like the cancel NFL Network hashtag, which is a rip off the cancel WWE Network and all that. Triple H just talks some shit about The Rock and Sting and all that, and how he is ready to take him on at Fastlane for his little confrontation that they're going to do. He plugs the network, and then he talks about Roman Reigns, but he's like questioning if like he should go to face Lesnar for the title. And then Reigns comes out, and he gets in his face. He tries to tell him, fuck off, I'm going to WrestleMania and all that. Daniel Bryan comes in to a big pop, and then Seth Rollins comes in, and Triple H makes a match for tonight, and this was his big announcement that he's been building up to on last Thursday on SmackDown. He says that his big announcement is that tonight, Daniel Bryan will face Seth Rollins, and the winner of that match will face Roman Reigns at Fastlane, and whoever wins that match goes on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. So that was a really interesting match that they had in stone. Really good stuff there. But Triple H says, okay, Roman, it's up to you. Do you want to do this or not? And Roman says, fuck it, let's do it. And so Triple H is like, alright, so here's your opponent for right now, and it's the Big Show. Yay. Not really. So yeah, these two have a alright match, nothing really spectacular, until Seth Rollins with J&J Security, who were watching the entire match, right? So Noble is on the apron, and Reigns hits him, and he gets into Rollins. Hits Superman punch on the Big Show. Mercury distracts the ref, and he allows Rollins to get on the apron and to hit Reigns from behind with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Show hits the chokeslam and wins the match. So, yeah, after that, Triple H and Stephanie are walking backstage. They're saying, like, oh, our plan worked and all that, and talks about the Steve Austin podcast that's going to happen on the WWE Network. I might make a video about that. Anyway, so after that, Curtis Axel comes out of nowhere, and he's pissed off because he's like, oh my god, like fucking, I didn't get eliminated, Eric Rowan attacked me from behind, I thought this was going to lead to a match with Eric Rowan, and he said I never was eliminated and all that stuff, which technically he wasn't. And so all of a sudden, Dean Ambrose comes out and just beats the shit out of him, and then throws him over the top rope and says, now you're out. So, Dean Ambrose, shit, man. And then he goes on the microphone and he calls out Bad News Barrett, and he's like, I want an Intercontinental Championship shot sometime down the line. So we might see Dean Ambrose and Bad News Barrett for the IC title, maybe at WrestleMania, or possibly at Fastlane. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. We get a Black History Month video from WWE about Ernie Ladd, the big cat. So yeah, that was a nice touch. So we have the Ascension taking on Stardust and Goldust. Oh, it feels like Thursday SmackDown pretty much. So they're in the ring. They have your typical tag team match. The Ascension wins, and then Goldust and Stardust have a bit of a quibble, and Stardust started to check in on him, and he gets upset, and he tells him to get his head on straight and all that. And we go backstage and back from commercial break, and we see Stardust he's having a bit of a fit. He's getting pissed. Goldust trying to calm him down. He's like, Cody, and all that. And then Stardust is like, don't you ever call me Cody again. And does that weird hissing sound he does. And so John Cena comes out with a big reaction. He welcomes back Ryback, Eric Rowan, and Dolph Ziggler, who had just been previously fired. And he's all like, oh, welcome back, guys, and all that. Then Stephanie McMahon pops up on the Titantron and says, you fuckers all have matches tonight. Dolph Ziggler's going to face Bray Wyatt. Eric Rowan was going to face... Who was he going to face? Just having a look here. Rusev, and all that. And then Ryback was going to have a match with Luke Harper, which is happening. She says it's happening right now. And so Ryback and Luke Harper have a match. Ryback picks up the win. Then we get to Jimmy Uso versus Cesaro. And, this was an alright match. Those two worked pretty well for each other. The highlight of this match was Jimmy Uso goes for a splash, and then Cesaro, boom, uppercuts him beautifully, gets him top notch, and wins the match. Good stuff for Cesaro and my boy Tyson, who was on the outside. So we get to a backstage segment of The Miz and Damien Mizdow. And so Sandow's getting fruit and all that for The Miz's I don't know, for his smoothie or something. And so The Miz gets all pissy and all that. And he says, you are no longer my stunt double, you're fired, and you are now my personal assistant. So, I think this is going to lead to a Miz versus Mizdow match at WrestleMania 31. I see that happening with how they were building this up. It's sooner or later, Mizdow he's not going to take it anymore, and he's going to kick the shit out of the Miz. I see that happening around WrestleMania time, definitely. So, Eric Rowan approaches John Cena backstage. He says, thank you so much, man. I have a different outlook on life, and I'm no longer a sheep to Bray Wyatt, and even though he didn't say that and all that, and he says he's going to take out Rusev for him, and he was all cool with Cena. So, yeah, Rowan and Cena, best buddies for life. All right. So then we get to Dolph Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt. Pretty good match. These two, they went at it. In the ending, Ziggler countered with a kick, and he nails the famous stuff. But then Wyatt jumps right back up, nails the Sister Abigail on him, and gets a win. So yeah, good match from those two. And the lights go out. And so Triple H, Steph, and Seth Rollins are chatting in the back, and they're like, their plan worked perfectly, and they talked about Randy Orton and him taking him out of action. So another match I can see for WrestleMania, Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. I can see him returning in the next couple of weeks. Maybe at Fastlane, if Rollins has a match or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. So we get to Paige versus Alicia Fox. The Bella Twins are on commentary. Alicia goes for a backbreaker, but then Paige turns it into a pin for the win. And then Alicia gets Paige with a cheap shot and all that. And she looks at the Bella twins, and Alicia's holding Paige with boots to the back while the Bellas, come in and just spray her, kind of like they did with AJ at TLC. It was weird. I don't know what that spray is or whatever. It's hairspray, presumably, but I don't get that. No, that's not good with me. Just go for a normal, like that elbow thing she does, Why can't you do that? Anyway, I probably see Nikki Bella winning at Fastlane, by the way they're building this up. And we go back to the break, and Miz is going to appear in a TV show called Sirens, so good for him. And so he is facing Sin Cara, and so Mizdow, because he's no longer his stunt double, he's now his personal assistant, he cannot mimic the Miz. He just pretty much stood there like this the entire time. And so Miz goes for a takedown and a headlock, and so hits the backbreaker, neckbreaker combo. Fans boo him when he does his pose. Sandow gets on the apron and everyone goes crazy. Miz is like, "Get the fuck down, mate!" And so Sin Cara comes from behind, gets the roll-up victory, and Miz is like, what the hell, man? He gets all pissy and all that. And then Bray Wyatt just shows up, and he cuts this really weird promo, and he says he's the new face of fear, and that you're not anymore. And I think he's talking about The Undertaker, because there have been a lot of rumors going around that those two are going to have a match at WrestleMania. So I think he could be possibly talking about The Undertaker. So maybe in the next few weeks, maybe at Fastlane or the Raw after, Undertaker should pop up and, confront one. I think they could have an awesome promo, or like an awesome little segment that they're going to do to build up to WrestleMania. Like, good shit I can see happening. So then we get to Rusev and Eric Rowan, and so Rusev just... I don't even know if the match ever got started. I don't think it did. And so Rusev just beat the crap out of poor Eric Rowan. And so Lana's inviting everyone to a special movie premiere, and they show this clip of Rusev just dominating and how he's the big super athlete of Russia and all that. And so he holds up the United States title, and then the Russian... You know how he holds up the title and then the Russian flag comes down? Well, the Russian flag got hung up somewhere. I don't know if this was meant to happen or if it was a botch or whatever, but Rusev gets a massive pop from the crowd. That crowd loved it. They were chanting USA, so good stuff from that promo. Probably not for Russian fans, but whatever. And then we get to the main event. Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan. Really, really good match. And whoever won this match will face Roman Reigns at Fastlane, and that match goes on the WrestleMania to win the title. Yeah, they did a lot of good stuff here. Let's have a look here. They were chanting "This is awesome" during the match, and so Big Show is on the outside with J&J security. He's yelling at Rollins finish him. Bryan gets the yes lock on him, but Rollins crawls and gets on his feet on the ropes. He rolls to the floor for a breather with Show. Then Roman Reigns just runs down and boom, spears Big Show. And I think he spears Jamie Noble on the outside as well. But, no, I think it was Joey Mercury. And Jamie Noble is out, and he's got a bloody briefcase with him. And so Rollins is on the outside. He's like, what the hell's going on? Rollins hits the Superman punch. And then and so he's out. Bryan hits the running knee, and he wins the match. So, yeah, good for Bryan. So, yeah, I'm really happy. So, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 31. This could be false hope for fans. So, when they build them up, it's like, oh, Daniel Bryan could win, and then Roman wins at Fastlane, and everyone gets pissed off. So, yeah, in my opinion, this was a pretty enjoyable Raw. Lots of seeds were planted for WrestleMania 31. We got Miz and Mizdow, Goldust and Stardust, Brock Lesnar versus Bryan or Reigns, Cena and Rusev, a bunch of Triple H, Sting, Undertaker, Wyatt, lots and lots of matches were planted for tonight. So, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to give this Raw a thumbs up. Good stuff there. Good building up to WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to end this video here. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below your thoughts on tonight's Raw. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And yeah, that's going to be it. See you guys later. I am out in 3, 2, 1.